What's going on, YouTube? My name is GinJTCG or Chris, and today I'm back with another crazy rogue deck video. Today I'm going to be playing Hydrapple EX with the Ripening Charge ability. Once during your turn, you can attach a basic Grass Energy card from your hand to one of your Pokemon, and when you do it, you can heal 30 damage from that Pokemon. So you get insane energy acceleration on top of Teal Dance, and you have an attack that does 30 more damage for each Grass Energy attached to all of your Pokemon. And the reason that is so insane is because we can heal damage against the two most popular decks in the format, Grimmsnarl and Dragapult, when they litter damage across the bench, stopping them from taking in multiple prize turns. But also, we're swinging with a grass attacker, so we can take easy one-hit KOs against Grimmsnarl since it's weak to grass, and against Dragapult, well, we've got a 300 HP bulky Pokemon. And for the early game, we've got the Festival leads Dipplin with Do the Wave, where you do 20 damage for each of your benched Pokemon. So you can load up your whole bench, swing for 100 damage twice, effectively taking out two Dracloaks, two Dreepies if you're up against Gardevoir, or Screamtails, any Drifloon. I mean, there's a lot of amazing matchups that you can do with just Do the Wave. But then there's some scenarios where, you know, like you're up against Grimmsnarl and stuff, and you want to go in with that Hydrapple, get some healing down, swing for some harder hits. Then we got the Teal Mask Ogerpon to draw us more cards and also function as an amazing backup attacker because we can really boost Myriad Leaf Shower with Hydrapple and Teal Dance, which is really nice. For the rest of the deck, I mean, we're keeping today simple. We're keeping it easy. It's a Friday when I'm recording this, and well, I had a crazy idea at work. I figured, you know what, let me just play a very compact, very solid, very reliable 60. So for our support account, we're going 4 Research, 4 Arven, 2 Boss, and 1 Kieran to both function as a switch pivot, but also give us that extra 30 damage buff, which might be necessary in a couple matchups. So, you know, overall, I like this list. I think it's straight to the point. You're doing your thing. You're getting the early game with Do the Wave. You're getting the late game with either Ogerpon with the big Myriad Leaf Shower. More often than not, you're just going to Syrup Storm and you're swinging for a one-hit KO and whatever's in the active spot at that point. And then we got a ton of different recovery options, which are going to be amazing. We got 2 rods to get us both Pokemon and energy back into the discard pile. We got 1 Night Stretcher, which is predominantly to get a Pokemon such as Hydrapple EX right back into the hand, because we don't need to take energy with it when we have 1 copy of Superior Energy Retrieval, which allows us to get rid of 2 cards, but we get 4 cards out of the discard pile. So if they take a big KO on an Ogerpon or a Hydrapple with a bunch of energy attached, boom, you know, we just take it right back with Superior Energy Retrieval. Also playing high counts of Research, and I figured, you know what, if we can't get access to all of the energy in our hand and we have to play the Research to dig for, you know, like a boss in later turns, or the Hydrapple EX or Rare Candy, something like that, you know, we're just gonna play a lot of recovery, make sure we can work around it. We got 3 Festival Grounds, which can shut off special conditions such as Confusion from Monkey Dory or any burns or anything that really could come up, as well as the Petron Donk. I mean, we could shut down poison and stuff, which is pretty nice. Then we got 13 Grass Energy, 1 Legacy Energy, because there's nothing like telling your opponent, hey, you just dealt with my 330 HP Hydrapple, now just take 1 prize card. I mean, overall, I feel like that's just kind of amazing. One thing to notice is we're not playing any Ultra Balls in the list. We just got 4 Nest Balls and then 4 Bug Catching sets. The goal is going to be to get all of our basics out with Nest Balls, and then to have Bug Catching set, Heavy Research, Heavy Iono just kind of naturally draw us into the evolutions needed to take the following KOs. We got 2 copies of Rare Candy in case we need to skip over the Dipplin and jump straight to Hydrapple, and 2 copies of Pokégear to make sure that we don't have to research away our hand. Maybe we just need to dig for the boss off the gear, rip it off that. Maybe we want an ideal Iono play to shrink our opponent's hand down. I mean, you never know. But we got 2 copies of Gear, which kind of can function as like 2 other cards, like the Gears. I mean, you know, I'd say one of them is pretty cuttable, and you could kind of fix that around in this list to whatever you need it to be. But maybe like an Ogerpon out. I know there's a single prize Teal Mask Ogerpon for 2 energy, which effectively has the same ability as Dipplin. It's not a bad backup attacker. I think this deck is kind of weak, obviously, if you get Cornerstone. But I mean, there's a lot of really easy inclusions to tech for that. So if you're going up against it in your locals or something, or you're that scared of it on the ladder, you can totally play it. I mean, for the most part, I have not ran into a Cornerstone Ogerpon in the ladder in a while, so I'm not too worried about it for today's video, but it's very easy to make space for and out if you need to. I know there's like the Rally Back Ogerpon is also pretty good, another single prize no ability option. There's a lot out there for grass attackers to get around it, so especially when it's grass weak. So I'm not too worried about a tech for Cornerstone Ogerpon before people yell at me for that, because I feel like, you know, when I have a deck that doesn't necessarily beat Ogerpon, they're like, I get yelled at a lot. I'm like, but there's options. It's just a ladder recording. Like, you don't need them in this situation. If you're going to locals, you know you need the wall tech for the wall, you know. If you know you're going to locals and there's 1 or 2, you know, big wall type guys, get them in. I mean, this is definitely a deck where you can make it work. But yeah, I mean, for the most part, we got our list. I think that today's going to go very well. I love Hydrapple. I've been a huge fan of it since the day it came out. I've just kind of been waiting for its time to shine. So I'm hoping today we could get off some huge action and get the job done with Hydrapple. But before we hop into today's video, just wanted to remind everyone that we got the Battle VIP Spotify and YouTube channel. I tried to combine both of those into one as I was talking too quick. So if you're looking for a great podcast on my best friend Avery and I, where we talk about the meta, top decks, rogue decks, recent regionals, conversion rates, new formats, new cards coming out, new tournaments that are up, all that type of stuff, go hop on over to the Battle VIPs podcast. Also, the YouTube channel features a lot of other videos from the Draw Pass TCG team, where we're just trying to help new and experienced players alike take their game to another level. So, without further ado, let's hop into today's video and see how well Hydrapple can finesse some of our opponents. Welcome to match number 1. We're up against Ethan's Macargo, which, honest to God, might be one of the worst matchups we ever could have hit. I mean, we got a glaring fire weakness across our entire deck. I think what we're going to have to ideally do is just bully the Ho-Ohs and try to 2-4-6 them before they can 2-4-6 us, especially when they have to get rid of their Prime Catcher early game. Now, that's pretty big. We do see the Macargo hit the discard pile as well, so if you're unfamiliar with Ethan's Macargo, it's another really fun deck from Destined Rivals I totally can visit. I know there's been a couple YouTubers who have been playing Macargo, so I didn't really want to, steal the content or anything from them or redo something that everyone's been watching already, but I could totally make my own variant of it and try to give it a good go if you guys want. But I know Azul GG posted a really cool video about Ethan's Macargo. Honestly, a solid deck. So if you're unfamiliar with it, it's not going to be a ton of fun because it is insane. Now, they do have one card left in their hand. I don't know how I want to go about this. I think the best play for us is probably to attach the Legacy Energy here, rip the Research, draw into another energy to Teal Dance, and just kind of put them under item lock pressure while I get myself established. Honestly, the single prize Dipplin is probably going to be one of our best friends here, especially if you could get a KO on Slugma, do some good damage to, Ho-Oh, something like that would feel pretty awesome. So now we do have the Retreat available, and then I've got another Ogerpon off that it gets Teal Dance too. I'm trying to just establish myself a little bit more bug catching set, honestly. Kind of elite. I think I am going to hold on to it, though, for next turn. And I think I just want to put on some heavy item lock pressure and see what my opponent's got in store for us. And then if I could get, like a Festival leads Dipplin or something like that, might be a little bit stronger going into the next turn than just using it now, getting some more basic Pokemon that aren't necessarily going to help us develop our board state any farther. So my opponent has 2 cards in hand. One of them is Jamming Tower, and the other is Research. I figured when they had 1 card left in their hand and they got rid of Prime Catcher, a Research was the last card in their hand, or else why would you get rid of Prime Catcher? You're going to hope that you have some other supporter, like even Iono, to put it back on the bottom of your deck. You would never get rid of the Prime Catcher, but, they're going to do their thing. They got the 1 energy on the Slugma, so they cannot retreat, and they're just going to go Steady Fire Breathing for the KO. So I think the best play for us is to probably promote Applin and see if we could get either 2 KOs on Slugma or get some early damage done on Ethan's Ho-Oh, which can make it much, much easier to set ourselves up for a 1-hit KO. So off the top deck, we're going to get a Rare Candy. Doesn't feel too bad. I am going to rip the gear now and see if I get a Research. I think I'd rather the Research in a situation like this. Just give me the options on Iono or Research. They do have 5 cards in hand, and I will gladly take a Hydrapple and an Energy. Now, sadly, though, this is not the Festival Leads Dipplin, but now that I'm thinking about it, they, oh my god, I right-clicked the Energy. They only do 160 damage. They actually don't do 170. So 160 times 2 is 320. We actually do live the attack, so I think it's probably more beneficial for us to just Rare Candy into the active, get 2 energy attached to the active with a ripening charge plus a manual attachment, and then just Research. I know that's going to be, 2 Ionos? That's our 3rd Iono in the discard pile. Alright, that does hurt a little bit. Maybe I do Iono here and just save the Research. I don't want to go through all my draw supporters. My opponent has 5 cards in hand. I don't really mind giving them a new 5, especially when I know their ace spec is already in the discard pile. This is crazy. This was the hand, honestly, I was kind of hoping I would get beforehand. I really do like the Dipplin here, but it's not the end of the world. I don't need to play Festival Grounds just for them to get rid of it. I think it's probably better for us to just Teal Dance. I probably should have put this energy on the other one, but I mean, hey, no big deal. And we have 2 bug catching sets. You know what? Let's use one right now. There's no harm in playing one, and I'll definitely actually take an Ogerpon
and another energy, just so I could try to boost Do the Wave when I get there, because there could be a big retreat play coming next turn. Especially if they don't take the one shot. And another Nest Ball. We go for an Applin. Ooh, I could go Fez, draw 3, actually. I think we do that. Because, like, sure, they could boss KO Fez. They could also boss KO Ogerpon's way easier. I'll be getting access to Fez a lot this game, hopefully. So I think it might be better for us to go Fez here. We do have another energy. Honestly, I'll attach to this Ogerpon. I really don't mind a lot of energy on the Legacy Ogerpon, because that is a really good attacker at some point in the game. And I think on a hand like this, we just sit on it, swing for 240 on our second turn, our second attacking turn, which actually, no, this is just our second turn period. Oh, that's nuts. 240 turn 2, and I feel like we didn't even really press the deck that hard. We kind of just played very casually, did our thing, set ourselves up for an amazing Do the Wave play. We got Energy Festival Grounds in hand, so if they do manage to do some damage to our active, you know, we could retreat it out. Turo, you know, is another tech option, feels very good in a situation like this, but they're only swinging 320 because of weakness. And if they leave this guy in the active, I mean, I promote Ogerpon. We'll have 3 energy down on this guy, right? So we're doing minimum 120 damage. And then they also have 4 energy attached to there, which is another 120, so we'd be swinging 240. Yeah, we could take a KO with an Ogerpon, which I think might be best for us, especially when this guy has a Legacy Energy attached, so it's only worth 1 prize card. We'd be able to jump ahead pretty well there, and they do have the Golden Flame option. Okay, especially if they get all their energy down. They need, I was going to say, the 3rd energy. And then they got the free retreat with Ho-Oh. That should be okay, though. Especially if I could take 2... Oh, they're taking the first 2 prize knockout, though. Man. It doesn't feel great. Okay. So what could I do about this? They swing 420. Maybe I still do go in with another Hydrapple. And then I look... Because they don't have any other Ethan's Pokemon... Ethan's, what do you call it? Slugmas on their bench. So they might have a difficult time responding to a Hydrapple in the active if they don't have boss in hand, which does feel pretty good, right? And then I could even use Superior Energy Retrieval. We've only got 3 energy in the discard pile, though. I actually might not need to use it. We'll probably Rod here, and I could take back... We do have another Applin in the deck. I think I'd just take back 3 energy. That's probably fine. I like drawing into our energy here a lot. So yeah, let's do that. Let's just take the 3 energy. I do have another Rod, so I could bring back Applin or Hydrapple if absolutely necessary, or a Night Stretcher to bring one of those guys back. I think I'd just kind of like this play a little bit, and then I draw 3 off flip before I do any bug catching sets or Teal dances. Want to see where my head is at. And we got the Nest Ball for another Applin. All right, this is sweet. This is awesome. And then yeah, we got another Dipplin, got another Hydrapple in the deck, and we have a Dipplin in our hand too, so that feels pretty good. I am going to bug catching set now just to see what else I have to worry about potentially not hitting, but no, we're just going to get 2 energy off here, which we definitely need. I'm going to need to use 1 Ripening Charge to get this guy attached to the active, just ready to attack, and then I'm probably going to Teal Dance to the Legacy Energy Ogerpon and set that guy up to take a big KO on their Ethan's Ho-Oh next turn. So we'll get 1 Teal Dance here, set this guy up, draw a card, and we'll get Boss's Orders. I could boss it now, right? If I boss it now, what would I be in danger of? They would need another Ho-Oh in play, and then a whole bunch of energy to take a big KO. Would that ever be more beneficial? Or do we just take out their only Macargo? I feel like we take out their only Macargo and then Boss's Orders, right? Because what I'm worried about is them benching another Ho-Oh, having Superior Energy Retrievals in hand to just set this guy up, take another 2 press KO. I would be in a much worse spot than taking out the 1 Macargo now and then going for a retreat or a Kieran play. Because they'll promote this guy. This is their best attacker, right? They'll promote that guy. They'll do a lot of damage. They'll leave us with 10 HP left. And I think from there, all we do is retreat into Ogerpon, swing for KO. Yeah, and then we'd have a single prizer in the active too, which I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter at this point. They're on an odd prize card. It doesn't feel awful, though. It doesn't feel awful. I could go in with Dipplin at some point, too, and then force them to take another single prize KO and then deal with Hydrapple again. Yeah, they had the Superior Energy Retrieval. If I bossed up that Ho-Oh, and they had Ho-Oh in hand, yeah, it would have been a nightmare. That would have been such a nightmare if I did not KO the Macargo there. I figured it's not the hardest play for this deck to, you know, chain Ho-Ohs together. They've got a Ho-Oh here with 4 energy we could KO at any point. It's not really a threat to us at this point. I mean, they could also boss up a Pokemon, that's fine. Like, what are they going to do, take out my single prize Applin? That's okay. That leaves my Hydrapple in play. It leaves another beefy attacker that they can't deal with. And they got Fezandipiti, which isn't guaranteed Ethan's Slugma. So if they do whiff the... Nope, there's a Night Stretcher for Slugma. That's what they have to take. If they don't, yeah, if they don't, they're in so much more trouble. So they'll swing for 320 damage. If there's nothing else to do, flip it on over back to us, and then we'll see what the vibe is on our turn. But I definitely think we could try to pull this one out, and they're already getting early energy down on Slugma. That doesn't feel great. It does not feel great at all. And they got Mew down as well, too, for a restart. We do have the boss options to get us through the game. I think this single prize attacker is going to be huge. Oh my god, and an Iono. Okay. I mean, maybe they retreat here, right? But who would they retreat into? And I get a... Never mind. We're so good. Do they even attack with this? Oh, they might not. Oh, okay, they do. They do swing 320. That's fine. I mean, they have no spread in this deck, at least none that I know of. So that's good. That does help us out a little bit. And we get a Festival Grounds. That is insane. I do lose Kieran, though. Ooh. So do I want to go for the hard retreat? Probably. I mean, we could do... 1 Teal dance, I'm thinking. I do also want to set up a... I mean, we do have Hydrapple set up in the back end. We can reset that guy up. Let's do 1 Teal dance. See where our head's at. And it's not the end of the world if we don't draw it. Actually, that works. We'll do a Ripening Charge to active to heal it a little bit, just in case they have like a Monkey Dory play or something like that. I don't know. You never know what spice your opponent is playing. I'd rather just prep for everything. Prep, be ready for everything. Than not. And then we retreat here into this guy. We should have enough energy to KO, though. Yeah, we're swinging 240, which is huge. So I think here I do want to set up a different Ogerpon. This guy's very easy to set up on the back end again, you know, if push comes to shove. And we get another energy. That totally works for us. But I think we might just hold on to that energy. I don't want to put it onto my active. Probably won't help us. I don't mind a manual attached to the bench Hydrapple with 290 damage done to it, though. If they go boss KO on it, they still leave 2 Ogerpons set up. So I think we're okay. And then I just go Myriad Leaf Shower. Right? Take my KO. I got 2 prize cards left. So now I could win on the next turn, and I have boss's orders, which is huge. And then I'll see what I get out of these prize cards. A couple of energy, and we could get an Ogerpon set up for a boss KO on Mew EX, which would be awesome. Depending on who they promote, they have to go Slugma here, and they can flip the script. They might be able to restart. They can draw into a lot of cards, or they go Mew obviously for the retreat. Okay, that makes sense. And does Ho-Oh only go to the bench? It might. 2 basic cards. So one of your bench this Pokemon. Oh yeah, so Mew is so perfect here. They got Nest Ball. Thins 1 more card out of their hand. Do they have any other cards they could thin to get a restart before flip the script? If not, we're just gonna see the flip the script here, which means restart might not be the most likely option. But still something we got to be wary of. And I think here is a good point to say, look how we turn the tide against this deck. We take it slow. We're playing into weakness. This should be one of the best matchups, I feel like, for Ethan's Macargo, because it's so easy to deal with our Hydrapples. But they're struggling, man. And they Vessel away an Iono. All right, so they got another Iono in hand. We can expect our hand to get pieced on out of here. There's not much we can do about that. But if they do take a KO on the active, we do get access to our own Fezandipiti. So that works out for us pretty nicely, in all honesty. And yeah, they got that Ultra Ball for Macargo. They still need at least 1 more energy to attack. I mean, I know they do KO because of weakness and doing enough damage, but it's a 3 energy attack cost. And there's the restart for 1. They should have some energy left, if I'm not mistaken, right? You have manual attached. You did Vessel. You took 2 energy. Yeah. Oh, wait, they got a 3rd. Oh, was the 3rd the manual attachment? Oh, yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. Okay. Yeah, they're good. They got it. And now... if you don't... oh my god, they Superior Energy Retrieval. Wait, double boss! Wait, but if they don't get rid of the energy, or if they don't get rid of our hand, do we have game? We do 120. We need 2 more energy down on Ogerpon, and we got game for boss KO on Mew EX, which is nuts. And we have to do it pretty much this turn, because I don't feel like dealing with the Macargo. I think we lose if we don't get game here. So I will need my Superior Energy Retrieval or Rod. We did play Night Stretcher. Oh, we lost Night Stretcher early. Forgot about that. That's fine. We can work around that. Now I could go promote Hydrapple here too, right? Because we do 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. Actually, you know what? Hydrapple might be a little easier. We just need 1 energy. I'll flip the script for Hydrapple. Because it's 30. Oh, wait. Yeah, it's 30 plus. So we got 1, 2, 3, 6, and then 7. 7 times 21. Yeah, we just need 1 energy. That's so insane. All right, we'll definitely Nest Ball here to thin. We want to do as much thinning as absolutely possible. I'll take the Ogerpon just because it's a card. I'll go flip the script to draw 3 deeper into the deck, and then I'll bug catching set if I need an energy from there. That feels pretty bad that we still have not hit one. I will thin out 1 more research. Do we have any energy? There's 1 energy left. There's 10 cards left in the deck. We know we have at least 1 energy. Can we hit it here? This is huge. That's all we needed, man. That is all we needed. We'll Ripening Charge, get a little healing done to our active, but then also set it up for the attack, and it should be the KO. We should be doing 240 if I'm not mistaken, right? Yep. And we will take out a Ethan's Ho-Oh just because it feels pretty good. We'll swing 240 for game. That is going to wrap it up for a tight match number 1. But despite swinging against a weakness matchup, we still coming out on top. Yo, it's Hydrapple's time to shine. I will see y'all in match number 2. Welcome to match number 2. I do open up with a mulligan, so my opponent is able to see a bit of what I'm playing because there was the Dipplin in my hand, but they don't know it's Hydrapple yet, which might help. I mean, I feel like you could look at... Actually, would you even know looking at that hand? You might not. Yeah, you might not. I mean, I guess the... Oh my god, it's a Garchomp deck. You know who's weak to grass? We're worried about fire weakness in matchup number 1. Well, my opponent is worried about that grass weakness in match number 2. And we get the Artisan. Oh my god. Could I put on some item lock pressure here? That would be nuts if I could. They chose to go first. I don't think chose to go second. I don't mind. Ooh, they got Monkey Dory. Am I ever super worried about Monkey Dory? I mean, you could take out Budew, but like, that's fine. Honestly, that's totally okay here. I do want to item lock them, though, if I can. I feel like overall, it just makes it a little bit easier for us. Oh my god, I shouldn't have done that off the Nest Ball. I meant to do that off the Artisan. Oh well, no big deal. Nah, yeah, a matchup like this, I think we go into it overconfident. We figure the rest out later. So I'll regret this later. For now, I will move on. I am gonna play pretty much everything I can. Well, it's Hatch Retreat into Budew here. Yeah, I definitely messed up the Nest Ball, but I don't mind having 3 Applin down. This is going to be Dipplins and Hydrapples and stuff, so it does kind of work out. I could bunch catching set, see if I get some Ogerpons. That works, and then a Teal Dance as well. Onto it, just set some early energy up. Also creates a good 2-prize attacker, which could swing for weakness. KO. Probably not KO on Garchomp. Hydrapple is going to be our guy to KO Garchomp, because they're not going to have a lot of energy in play. And I don't necessarily need to Iono this turn. I mean, I guess... There is a world where I could research this turn and draw into a bigger hand. I don't mind losing 1 copy of Boss, 1 copy of Iono. If I have to play Festival Grounds, I don't think they play more than maybe 2 stadiums, which should be alright, since I am getting the first bump, and then I research here. Try to draw into a bit of a better hand to follow up. This is certainly one of the hands ever. Okay, well, this is going to be a fun one to dig our way out of. Whoever shuffled our deck, they did not, because this is insane. We'll Itchy Pollen for 20, but also shut down items. So if they do have a Rare Candy Garchomp play in their hand, that's awesome. Didn't ask. They could keep that, because I'm not dealing with it. And they do have the Dark Energy manual attached for Monkey Dory. All right, I mean, hey, you know, if that's what they got to do. They can move their 2 damage counters onto Budew. They could Rock Hurl for KO, and that's about all they got. That is all they got in the books, which means they got a guaranteed KO with Teal Mask Ogerpon. But, I mean, if I could get Dipplin set up, that would be awesome. It depends what I bug catching set into. If I bug catching set into Dipplin, we're piecing their deck together, and I top deck an energy, yo. Be for real. I think here we go Teal Dance first. See what I draw into, and then bug catching set. Try to thin a non-energy out of the deck, or not grass card out of the deck, and then bug catching set. Hopefully hit a Dipplin. No. We get a Teal Mask Ogerpon and another energy. I am praying that off this Teal Mask Ogerpon I get a Dipplin. I want to do the wave so bad. Actually, honestly, I really want any card. All right, you know what? Hey, this is an ideal board state for Hydrapple if I've ever seen one. Oh my gosh. We'll get an... Literally never punished. Actually, yeah, all that was mapped out, so my bench should be max. So do the wave swung the hardest possible. So we are going to retreat there into Dipplin. We're going to get an epic do the wave showcase. And we'll swing for 200 damage. But Since we do have Festival Grounds in play, I believe we are able to attack a second time. And I say I believe, like I didn't test this match and make this deck on purpose for that reason. But here we are. You could promote your Monkey Dory is probably the best. I was going to say because you live the attack, but no, instead you give me Roselia. I would love to perform another attack, take a KO on Roselia, and then take 2 prize cards with a single prizer in the active. Now, if they do respond with the KO this turn, if they got Rare Candy, Garchomp, they also need an energy, which is a little thin in this deck, and playing Dark Energy might hurt that spread as well. They do have items. There's the energy. Do they have the Rare Candy? Yes, they do. All right, so they'll draw up until 6 cards in their hand. They'll definitely swing for enough damage. I doubt I can get an Ogerpon to swing her. Oh my god, wow, they had everything in their hand. That's insane. It's all right, though. I mean, I got 3 Teal Dances out here. We can take it a little slow. If I need to swing with Do the Wave, we will KO, even if they get the Power Band, because we're swinging 200 and attack. We just need to make sure we get one more Pokemon, which I think we could do. So I think it's still correct for us to promote Applin here. And also, if we get Hydrapple, then I think we pretty much guarantee ourselves a KO because I have Rare Candy and a bunch of energy in hand, so we will get so many energy in play this turn. We just got to see what my opponent does. We know they're swinging for enough, even without Roserade. We have 80 HP. This guy is not here to take shots. This guy is here to take big Okos, multiple Okos on little baby Pokemon, which we've done, gave us the lead. My opponent is now fighting to keep pace, and I need to see what I can do. We've dug through a good bit of our deck. I feel like there is a world where we could see Hydrapple this turn, and we could go for a Rare Candy Hydrapple play too. If not, I could retreat into Ogerpon if I think it's worth it. Even if we're not taking a KO, we get Fezandipiti here. Oh my gosh. I mean, yeah, we bench that every time. And then we got 3 Teal Dances minimum lined up. Let's flip the script here. Bug catching set, reach search. All right, this feels amazing. We even got a Night Stretcher. Ooh. You know, I could KO them with Dipplin if I go in with Night Stretcher. Let me see. Let me see what the vibe is off this bug catching set. If I don't hit Hydrapple here, I get an energy. All right. I've got 5 energy in hand. I think I'm going to do 3 Teal Dances first, because then I'll still have 2 energy left over to go for a Rare Candy Hydrapple play. If I don't never mind, I draw it off the first one. Well, I mean, this is fine. We evolve our active, we do our thing. I was gonna say I could Night Stretcher Dipplin back and go double Do the Wave, but I actually like having Hydrapple here because that's a lot of HP for my opponent to break through, and we're not even set up. We have no energy and we were swinging 300 damage. So when I set up this Hydrapple, we should be at 420 damage if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, solid number. So then we'll go double Teal Dance here and just get the rest of the energy in play. I'm not too worried about my opponent taking a big KO. We do have a Night Stretcher. If I need to pull back 1 more energy out of the discard, a Research and a Boss feel pretty good. But what's even nicer is I've got no damage in play after this 540 damage attack. There is no damage counters in play for Spiritomb or Monkey Dory to either hit hard or use the ability and move some damage off. So I feel like we're just kind of in an amazing spot, right? Like, I don't know how our opponent responds to this. They boss up Applin to stall us. I go Night Stretcher for energy. Same thing with Fez. Like, there's not much they can really do. I doubt they play a Psychic Energy to even get an attack with Mind Bend off. But even if they did, they need a Stadium Bump too. Because we're... Oh, okay. There's the Stadium Bump. Well, alright, that's fair. Do you play Psychic Energy is the question. You got Arven to set yourself up a little more. If you just take another Gibble, I'd definitely go boss in the Gibble. I'm not playing with that. I'm not playing that game. We're going to take our KO wherever I need to. And you got Night Stretcher Rescue Board. Okay, that's smart. You might just sack a Spiritomb here because there's 2 of them. You don't really need 2, especially when I've got 2 prize cards left. And you have no damage in play. And there is the Night Stretcher for Gibble and a Power Belt onto it. Well, I don't know. I feel like it's probably better for us to boss up Gibble and just keep the pressure. Unless they get a second one off this Artisan. We'll see. We'll see. They could have 2 Power Bands in hand. They haven't really played any of those games, so it wouldn't make a lot of sense, and they fail it. Oh, my lord. No way. Is there 2 in the discard pile? There's only 1 Gibble in the discard pile. What? Why'd you fail it off that Artisan? You get rid of double Buddy Buddy Puff, and what is in your hand? A Gabite. Oh, we have to... We KO this Gibble, and my opponent does nothing. Right? I think, yeah, that's always our play here. We Stadium Bump. Out of principle. You put in a lot of effort to get this Gibble back. I'm going to put in more effort to make sure that it stays out of the game. I only got 1 prize card left, and based on my opponent's board state, I don't think there's a single thing they could do. They could have Iono us to 1, and then maybe we won't have a way to get an energy if they go Iono plus Countercatcher and bring up Fezandipiti, because if we get an energy, we do have Dipplin and Festival Leads in play. Although I guess Dipplin would be on the bottom of our deck if they go Iono, and they might be playing Unfair Stamp, right? Which means we could get 2 cards. It doesn't feel awful. And we could totally draw. 2 cards, we could draw. They go Night Stretcher. That is not going to change anything. We have 1 prize card left. Do you take Gibble one last time? Do you stand on business like that? You do. Like, I'm not swinging for more than enough damage. How much? 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. We're swinging for 270 damage. And I did not even go research Iono on anything to draw into more energy. That is insane. Match number 2 wrapped up quickly against Cynthia's Garchomp. Let's hop into match number 3 and see if there's anything that could take down Hydrapple today. Welcome to match number 3. I apologize for starting it a second late. I don't even know what happened. They're playing I have no idea what they're playing. Whenever your opponent attaches an energy card from their hand to one of their Pokemon, put 2 damage counters on that Pokemon. The effect of... Oh, alright. Interesting. Little Minun Plusle deck. That's solid. I have no idea what I'm up against, but I feel like, you know, an item lock never hurt anyone if that's what I absolutely have to go into. They do have 5 cards in their hand. I don't want to dig for research here. I think this is a situation where you just play the Iono, give them the extra card, put them under some item lock pressure, and hopefully establish my board a little bit better. Even if I got research off the gear, my hand was solid. I really did not want to get rid of it. Now that is annoying. I got no other Pokemon in play. Alright, that's fine. I think I just go Fez. Bench it now. If they have a boss KO and they chase down Fez, they don't chase down Applin. And as much as I hate having to put Fez down in this situation, I just feel a little bit safer in doing so. Yeah, I mean, it's really not pretty, like, no matter what way I put it. Because, like, if I don't put Fez down here, oh my god, they played Paldean Student. What is going on? Oh my god, and they could search for up to 4 Pokemon at the end of the game if they got a bunch of Paldean Students in the discard pile. Search your deck for a non-rule box Pokemon for each Paldean Student. Search your deck for another non-rule box Pokemon. They are playing the spice in match number 3. I am curious. And they got the... What? You attach the tool to runaway draw, but you lose the tool? What? Okay. I mean, sure, boss. They got the dripped out Shaman, though. So, you know, my opponent might be playing a deck that we've definitely never seen before. Maybe they're about to put me on the spice and they just leave the Shaman in the active spot. I mean, hey, I'll put them on an item one more time. I think, again, I'll just hold the hand. They didn't really seem to do much. I'll just Iono them to a new 6. Even though they didn't do much. I guess maybe I could have gone research on that turn. But I like this a little bit more if I can Teal Dance here into a Festival Grounds. That'd be nuts, because then I can do the wave. No, I get a Rare Candy. Alright, I mean, hey, felt pretty good. So in here, I'll take an Applin and an Energy for sure. And I'm not swinging for much damage, really, at all. But is that stopping me? We'd have 2, 4, 6. I think we're still taking a KO, right? So maybe I just go do the wave for 80 damage. We're not swinging for game. We did not get Festival Grounds out. But I'm taking an important KO, which I really don't mind. I don't know what my opponent's playing. Maybe I'm sleeping on their deck, and I'm going to regret that, and they're going to take a huge KO here. But all I'm seeing is a Minun in the active spot with Speed Ball for 20 damage, so I don't feel too bad. They got Buddy Puffin, so we're going to see a little bit more of their deck, which is good, because if we didn't, they could be losing soon. And they got the Plusle down to start using Buddy Pulse, but the effects don't stack. So if we play an energy card from their hand to one of our Pokemon, we put 2 damage counters on that Pokemon. Okay, so if we Teal Dance, it's not ideal. If we Teal Dance or Ripening Charge, it doesn't feel good. And they got Counter, Gain, Brilliant Blender. What am I... Oh my gosh. It's a Rockruff deck. Okay. Now I'm piecing together a lot more of what's going on in their deck. That's why they're playing the spiky energy to put damage counters on us when we attack them. Rockruff, or the Lycanroc, does it take it out of the deck or discard? I don't remember. Probably the discard if they're playing Brilliant Blender, I'd imagine. Now I totally see their combo. This is a fun one. You only get 2 cards in the discard pile. Homie, you could have taken up to 5. And Calamitous Snowy Mountain, excuse me. Oh boy, we're taking a lot of damage when we attach from our hand. Well, alright, Ogerpon. I mean, I guess you're taking a lot of damage here. And then that'll set up your Lichen Rocks to do an insane amount of damage because there'll be a lot of damage counters down. I'm seeing the combo. Okay, I'm sleeping on this Lichen Rock deck. Yo, my fault, boss. My fault. You'll take your 20 damage. Not going to matter. You're playing a single prize here, and I'm not doing much about it. If I could top deck Festival Grounds, it's clips for this deck. I'm going to go up 3 prize cards, and they haven't done anything. We get a bug catching set. Not totally. Exactly what we wanted to see, but I don't hate using this. We take double Hydrapple. Honestly, I think I take that all day. And I don't even mind evolving here. And then a manual attach. Right? Or do I just do the wave for 80? I mean, we could do the wave for KO. You could take out one. Ah, man. But then if I do Teal Dance here, you are doing 40 damage to this Ogerpon, which doesn't feel awesome. To be fair, if I do that with Hydrapple, you know what? Out of math and science, I'm curious which happens. I'm going to Ripening Charge to the active. See if I can heal the damage immediately done to me. I doubt it. Oh my god, I can. Oh my gosh, I can. And then... well, that was pretty nuts, right? To one of their bench. Oh, basic not. Oh, basic. It's an evolution Pokemon. Okay, that works. So we live that. That feels pretty good. I'll definitely bench another Ogerpon here. That feels fine. And then I just swing 120, take a KO. That's huge. So their ability procced first, and then mine. That's insane. That is crazy. Wait, hold on. I need to reread my ability. Why is there a specific reason why theirs went first, or is it just TCG Live not knowing what to do? You may attach a basic grass energy from your hand. If you attach an energy to that Pokemon in this way, heal 30 damage from that Pokemon. And theirs also happens instantly, if I'm not mistaken, when we attach it. Whenever, yeah. All right, that's really interesting. Why mine went first before theirs? I have never came across a situation where that is as relevant as it just was. That top deck boss feels pretty good, though. I'm not gonna lie. I think we just go boss KO. I could Rare Candy into Hydrapple. I'm not. Just in case I need like a Dipplin type of route. I'm going to hold off on that. They do have counter gain down on Dunsparce. There is a world where they could go Dunsparce and take a big KO. I think if they do that, I got the Grass Energy. I was going to say, I don't think we're swinging for enough right now. We're swinging for 3, 6, 9, 12, 150 damage max. With this just one attachment, but I could draw into more energy and try to push for a KO onto Dunsparce. They're just gonna go find a friend. I feel bad. This is like a hard smackdown, but that was a really cool interaction, so I don't mind throwing it up. It was also a really cool deck. I honestly kind of feel bad that they were not able to get it going. I think that's fine though. I mean, we could Calamitous Snowy Mountain. That doesn't feel ideal. Maybe, you know what we could do? We could Rare Candy Evolve now. We could attach to the active, just full heal it, and just kind of protect ourselves from the KO. That doesn't feel too bad. I think we just double down on this Hydrapple carrying us through the rest of the game. The Buddy Pulse is going to damage us. The Ripening Charge will then heal 30. Yep. I'm really curious if there's a reason why their ability goes before us. Because I feel like both happen at the same time. And like, I'm a judge, too, for those of you who don't know. Like, I would have no idea what to do in this situation. I hope I never have to be a judge at a tournament where there's a Hydrapple versus Lycanroc scenario. And this becomes super relevant all of a sudden for both decks. I mean, of course, I'm going to sit here right now and be like, yeah, no, Hydrapple should go second because I'm the one playing Hydrapple. But it's like, you know, if I was impartial both these decks, which from this specific instance, honestly, I really don't care. It's just a video. If I lose, I lose. It's not the end of the world. Yeah, they just pass here. This is a cooked match number 3. That is so weird. I can't figure it out. Not gonna Iono. Just gonna take my swing, do my thing. We'll drop them down to 1 prize card. They got 2 Rock Ruffs on the bench. They'll have 4 cards in hand. We'll see if they can get the nuts off this top deck, give them a 4th card that allows them to play the game, swing hard. They got the Lycanroc, so if you're unfamiliar with Lycanroc, Spike Call. When you play this Pokemon, Spike Clad, excuse me. When you play this Pokemon, to evolve one of your Pokemon, you can attach 2 Spiky Energy from the discard pile to this Pokemon, and then you do 40 damage plus 40 more for each damage counter on the opponent's active Pokemon. I only have 1 damage counter off because I've done a lot of healing, so that attack could have been pretty devastating. However, we'll be alright. We'll swing 300 for the clean up KO on the Lycanroc. We'll take a whole lot of damage. They definitely could have KO'd us on the return swing. They would have swung for, what, 400 plus 100 to 520 damage on the return hit. That's insane. Will dodge it pretty nicely though. Wrap this video up cleanly with a 3-0 win for Hydrapple. I hope you guys enjoyed the deck. I definitely had a ton of fun running this one. Yeah, I mean, if there's anything you guys want to see in the future, let me know. I've got a couple decks, you know, like lined up. I've always got a bunch of decks prepared, but I'm always down to move some stuff around if there's a specific deck you guys want to see. So let me know if that is the case. With that being said, though, hop on over to the Battle VIP's podcast, support the podcast itself and the Draw Pass TCG team. And yeah, with that being said, stay epic. Peace.